Stop thinking about that kind of stuff.
That's why when you're stuck in traffic, there's the little voice that says, "You're the wrong lane." Before you know it, it'll change.
Good morning. Today I'm here with Anthony Ganter. Welcome.
Thanks, John.
Anthony is a physiotherapist, been involved with a number of elite and international sporting teams. I thought we'd try and have him talk us through some of the issues that may be relevant to Muay Thai and physiotherapy. Perhaps you could start with a little bit of your background, Anthony.
Well, John, I graduated from the University of Queensland here in Brisbane in 1991. We've covered a couple of different sports since then. One was the National Road Cycling team. That was in the early 90s. In the late 90s, I started an association with some local football clubs, and that's just evolved over the time now. So for the last 4 years, I've been the medical coordinator and physiotherapist for the Queensland Royal Football Club. And
very successfully so, I can say, from my knowledge in Brisbane.
And that's basically where I am today.
And I saw we had some of our former Lions now working with you as trainers with your group.
Yeah, the Raw's new recruit from last year is Craig Starkovich, who is the head strength and conditioning coach at Queensland Raw, and he's doing a very good job and has brought some of his expertise from the premiership winning AFL side.
Yeah, and I think that's important that the cross-code fertilisation of expertise will be a factor that hopefully we can work with ourselves. Now, perhaps you could talk us through the concepts of what nature of treatment you'd recommend post-fight. Now, I've explained to Anthony that there's a lot of shin kicking such that there's bruising through the muscle regions of the outer limbs as well as ribs and potentially the stomach region.
Well, John, with the damage to your legs from like 5 3-minute bouts, there'll be two lots. One is just the actual trauma from being repetitively receiving blows to the outside of your leg, and potentially little bits of muscle fibre damage and ligamentous damage, which may or may not be enough to create its own problem. And the other is just from the actual release of the metabolites from the actual fatigue and of the muscle activity. So not so much the muscle's been hit, but the muscle's been working at its high end level for the 15 minutes. What we use and a lot of sports are using now is an ice recovery system. And for your boys at bouts, that would be they're basically like PVC little tubs or tubing with a plastic sort of bath shape, and the little square things, you sort of just sit in them, your knees bend up a little bit, and they recommend that you bring those things down to about sort of 3 to 5 degrees, and you can sit either in them for like a period of sustained 5, 7, 10 minutes, or you could actually do some contrast bathing. But I think due to the sort of like brutality of being hit repetitively, they'd be better just to sit for 5 to 7 minutes at around that sort of 5 to 10 degree mark, and that actually helps to decrease the trauma that you've actually sustained, which gives you a faster recovery. And then utilising something like ice the ice bathing at the end of the competition, and then also compression tights after you get out of the bath and shower, will give you the highest level of recovery you can probably achieve.
Now, talk us through this concept of compression tights. I think that's a new concept for Muay Thai.
Yeah. Well, with the compression tights, the best studies have actually come out of the All Blacks in New Zealand. They have the most validated research, and what they used was a double-blind trial where they actually had half their squad with the tights on and half without, and then they all sustained the same amount of training, and then they did vertical jump power testing and strength testing on the days after each training session. And the All Blacks in the squad that have actually worn the compression tights had both better power vertical jump on the following days and increased strength on their maximum strength testing. So that correlated highly with just showing them that the normal wear and tear of training is at least a little bit compensated for, and your body recovers better because of the compression on the muscle groups, and the fact that they actually aid the reabsorption of the metabolites that have come out as as a result of working hard on your body.
Now this probably is an issue that I hadn't thought of particularly, but a lot of our training isn't sparring per se, it's a lot of work with heavy pads. The trainer will hold very heavy pads and the boys kick to them. Would the use of compression pads be relevant to those sorts of heavy training periods?
Yeah, the compression tights work at their highest level when your body's just worked at its highest level. So if you had a very light training session and you weren't actually sort of approaching sort of competition bout intensity, then you're not going to probably get a lot of benefit out of wearing the tights following those sessions. But when you're actually maybe peaking up for a tournament and you're looking for a high level, high end quality training, that's when you get the best out of compression tights. And also they double up. There's a couple of different gauges, and must point out also that not all compression tights are the same. So you need to get like one of the better brands. So at this stage, there's a few garments around that are a little bit different. The skins are actually well established and well researched, and then there's a lot of others that haven't got stitching for the compartmentalisation of your muscle groups. They just look like a pair of tights, and they don't offer anywhere near the same benefits. The other use of the skins, and they're a heavier gauge material, and that's actually for flying, because as you go up higher in the atmosphere, the air pressure actually decreases, and then that's why you get the things like the DVTs and the flights. Not applicable to this age group, but certainly with your fighters, they're going to get off the plane in far less condition if they've travelled for over sort of 2 hours at 30,000 feet without a compression garment on their legs.
Now this is particularly important because many of our athletes are in fact doing that. They're competing, probably not ice-bathing at this stage, though hopefully everyone will take this up as an opportunity now, then jumping on early morning flights to come home. So you'd strongly recommend the heavy skins?
Yeah, well certainly. I mean, they're quite expensive, so they're probably up around $180, $190 a pair. So whilst you may not everyone may go out and get both the flight skins and the recovery skins, certainly at least the recovery ones will give you enough compression to do the job and maybe at least introduce your body to the concept. And to give you some idea, the typical management of a travel flight for the Queensland Royal Football Club is that all the players are weighed at the airport. They've all got their own water bottles with an electrolyte drink to drink throughout the travel, the hour at the airport before the 2-hour flight, the bus trip, and they're re-weighed at dinner time. So they have to maintain their body weight for the day and make sure that the effects of the travel haven't dehydrated them, and they're all wearing compression tights for the flight as well.
Thanks for that. We might leave that interview there.